It may not be Halloween right now, but the details of this case are still haunting.
Halloween in the 1980s was a vibrant and whimsical celebration, marked by an explosion of creativity and fun. Children eagerly anticipated the night, donning imaginative costumes ranging from classic ghouls and witches to pop culture icons like superheroes and rock stars. The streets buzzed with excitement as trick-or-treaters filled their bags with candy, while neighborhoods decorated with spooky decorations, carved pumpkins, and cobwebs created a festive atmosphere. For many, it was a time of communal joy, with families hosting parties and haunted houses, making memories that would last a lifetime amidst the backdrop of the decade's distinctive music and culture. Halloween night in 1984 was a night that many looked forward to for its fun and costumes. In San Jose, California, a woman named Doreen Erbert was 8 months pregnant with a 4-year-old daughter, Deanna. They were handing out candy to the trick-or-treaters, but for Doreen and her family, it would soon turn ominous. Doreen's husband Charles left the house to go down to the liquor store and to buy more candy. He was only gone for 15 minutes. Around 9 p.m., a knock on the door summoned Doreen and Deanna to hand out candy. When Doreen opened the door, a man was wearing a wolf mask and wielding a machete. The man forced his way into her home. Doreen told Deanna to hide, and the 4-year-old hid behind the couch. In a fit of rage, the man attacked her, taking the lives of both Doreen and her unborn child. The man tried to find little Deanna, but he couldn't find her. He yelled out that if she said anything, he would come back and kill her. Miraculously, she remained unharmed. Only a few minutes later, Charles came back to a house of horrors. Charles sent Deanna to a neighbor's house. When the police arrived, Charles was distressed and covered in blood. They placed him in the patrol car. Charles was screaming and yelling, "My wife, my wife, my wife!" He was also trying to kick out the window. Once the police entered the house, it was like a real-life slasher movie. Doreen was flayed open like a gutted deer. Her baby was removed and found underneath a chair that had a jack-o'-lantern on it. An officer commented that there was about an inch of blood that covered the floor. A trail of blood was noticeable leading out the front door and down the walkway. When police were looking for suspects, Charles was a person of interest, but they quickly learned that Doreen had a toxic relationship with her ex-husband, Michael Dennis. Before she met Charles, Doreen had faced tremendous heartache in her previous marriage to Michael Dennis. The two had a son, Paul. However, after their separation, tensions rose between them like dark storm clouds. The unthinkable struck in 1980 when Paul was just 4 years old. He drowned in a backyard pool while he was in Doreen's care. The devastation was immeasurable. Michael sued Doreen for the unlawful death of Paul, but lost the case. Their bond deteriorated, consumed by grief and bitterness.
From what I was told, my mom was attending to me and Paul was out back playing with his ball. And there was a 6-foot fence around the pool, and Paul was playing back there, and she looked away for 1 second, and when she looked back there again, she didn't see him. And so she started walking around, calling his name, and she found him in the deepest end of the pool. My brother actually lived for like 3 days on a respirator, and then he passed away.
The police headed over to Michael's house around 12:30 a.m. on November 1st. When they arrived, they could hear running water. They suspected that he was trying to get rid of evidence. Michael answered the door calmly and invited them in to talk. The police did notice that Michael had a large cut on his hand that he said he got when carving a pumpkin. This just seemed odd to the police, and they began to search the house. One officer went upstairs with Michael to look in a bedroom. Michael lunged towards the headboard where there was a loaded gun in a shoulder holster. The police took control of the weapon and took Michael back downstairs. There was blood found in the garage by the washer. There was blood on Michael's truck steering wheel. The police now had 2 people of interest in custody. Charles was cleared quickly. A store employee remembered him, and there was video footage of him at the store when his wife was being attacked. Michael, on the other hand, had a ton of evidence piling up. Not only the blood that was found in his truck and house. Police spoke to Michael's friends and found a woman who had gone to a Halloween party the year before with him. He was dressed up as the Big Bad Wolf. They even found photos of him in the costume. Throughout the trial, the darkness of his intentions unfolded, with the wolf mask and machete revealing the chilling premeditation behind his actions. His defense claimed mental illness, but the jury saw through the facade, convicting him of first-degree murder in 1988 and condemning him to a lifetime on death row. This tragedy weighed heavily on Charles, who had been home that night but powerless to prevent the horror that unfolded. His grief for Doreen and their unborn child became his constant companion, and the impact on Deanna was indescribable.
He would drink, he would go in binges, is what I called them. There for a little while, I did live in a foster home for about a year, and then finally he quit. He found Jesus, and then him and I really been closer than ever.
In a cruel twist of fate, he found himself stepping into the role of a single father, determined to raise Deanna amidst the echoes of loss. Choosing a path of quiet resilience, Charles lived away from the public eye, perhaps to shield his daughter from the media frenzy that surrounded such a heartbreaking case. What remains is a poignant reminder of the destructive power of unresolved grief and anger, a tale intertwined with love, loss, and the unbreakable bond of family. Doreen and her child did not deserve such a cruel fate, and their legacy lives on, etched in the memories of those who loved them. As one reflects on this tragic story, it leaves an indelible mark on our hearts, a testament to the fragility of life and the depths of human sorrow.